Hey guys, it's Tyson Johnson, founder of the Six Pack Dad Tribe, joining you for another podcast episode. Really excited to be joined tonight by Star Hall, one of our long-standing tribe members. And this is the purpose of tonight is just for him to briefly, in about 10 to 15 minutes, share where he is now. We'll briefly kind of recap why he started. I think it was like 3.5 years ago. Um, and so we'll do a brief intro and just ask you a few questions, Star, and then we'll end the podcast and let anyone else who joins us tonight ask you some questions. So say hello, Star.
Hello. Thanks for having me here, Tyson.
You bet. So let's rewind the clock just briefly. If memory serves, I think it was around 3.5 years ago when you and I probably found each other on LinkedIn, something like that. Do you
hmm
mind just going back briefly in time? I know you've shared this on a past podcast episode, but what was going on in your life about 3 to 4 years ago where you said, "Yeah, I want to join the Dad Tribe."
Yeah. Well, it was in the middle of COVID, and maybe like some of you, I had already pre-COVID gotten into some, patterns where I just wasn't super healthy. I'd done a lot of roller coaster riding I could always lose 15 or 20 pounds pretty readily, but then I could gain it back even faster. I tried all kinds of things. And along about in the middle of that journey, I was on the road quite a bit with a corporate sales job and doing some startups and things like that. And I ended up having a pretty good health scare where my blood pressure was dangerously high, but without any symptoms. I'm looking over here at my other screen because I'm looking for the photo of when I started with you, Tyson. If I find it, I'll pop it up. But so in the middle of COVID, along with kind of this journey of trying to fix my health issues by powders and potions and personal trainers, I hired a couple of personal trainers um, and there again, I mean, I had these flash in the pan types of successes where I'd lose some weight and I'm like, hey, good, I can lose weight whenever I want, and then I'd gain it right back. Um, and and then add COVID on top of sort of that roller coaster ride. I was starting to be concerned that I was just not top of my game anymore. Even I was feeling not super healthy. I was on medication by then, so my blood pressure was improving a little bit, but it wasn't sustainable in a way that was health driven. It was just medicines. Um, and so I was actively looking for something that I could do that would be more sustained. That because I never did succeed at dieting. Diets don't work for me. Just psychologically, they kind of mess with my mind, and I feel stuck, and so I just never would have a sustainable result. And so when I saw Tyson's ad, I believe it was Facebook, um, what spoke to me was the science, was this idea of sort of a data-driven, scientifically anchored approach to not losing weight, but to being healthy and to sustaining a healthy lifestyle and kind of paying attention to how your body is interacting with diet and exercise, that sort of thing. And it was refreshing. And he wasn't that, that fancy dude trying to sell you on, looking like a gym rat. He's just a good guy, kind of speaking my language. And it caught my attention. So I reached out and then when we met and talked, I just resonated with Tyson as a person too, and kind of what his values as a dad and as somebody who cares about family and community and also very driven to be successful with work, but to find kind of the balance. And it just kind of rang true that this would be a good thing to try. And so I did. Um, and sure enough, like always, I started off pretty strong and lost about 15 pounds in the first month-ish, probably. Not as fast as I normally would lose it. But then it stayed off. And then more kept coming off. And so I don't recall exactly the timeline, Tyson, but after about 6 months, I think I was 30. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share this with you. This is when I found Tyson. I was 240, um, roughly. I think it's right about there. And okay, maybe I have to send this to you because it's not letting me share, but do you want me to send this
Oh,
picture?
it should let you share now. I made you co-host.
Okay, I'll try again. Let's see if it'll let me now. Okay, there we go. All right. So don't judge me on what I'm about to show you. But there I am. There I am. And my wife just stuck her head in and laughed. She remembers how liberating it was. So yeah, this is during COVID. And yeah. So enough said, right? I think um I was absolutely in need of this solution, and I dropped that weight and kept it off for about a year and a half. Um, and then I kind of stopped the program for several months and thought, okay, I'm there. I dialed it in and I'm solid. And then I gained several pounds back. I think I probably gained 26 pounds back, due to, the normal stressors. Um, and then I just kind of reached back out to Tyson. I said, "Hey, I just want to do kind of an alumni thing. Just I know what to do. I just need the community. I need to plug in. I need to. I just kind of need that sort of that energy and that support and those reminders. And so it's been pretty light touch as kind of an alumni coming back. And I'm telling you, um, it's just dialed in for me. It's sort of like breathing air now. I will admit, I think I could be lower on my body fat. I think I'm about 15, 16% because I'm less committed to the workouts uh, than I was before. Um, but I tried an experiment, and I'm sort of throwing the tire over the shoulder, like this is not gospel. This is not Six Pack Dad Tribe gospel, but this was an experiment I wanted to try because um, my struggle has always been the sustainability of the exercise and the diet together. So I wanted to take them one at a time. This is just something I wanted to try. I dropped all that weight back down to where I was, into like the low 190s, with just diet and a little bit of cardio exercise, that I was squeezing in as well. I've just now started to implement back in the resistance training. Um, I did, by the way, the first phase where I lost the roughly 40 pounds. That was all done just from my home gym, just with a few free weights. I never went to the gym because I hate the gym. That's just not me. Some of you do great there, and more power to you. I think it's awesome. I don't do well there. I kind of need something that's sustainable here at home because I fit it in between my work meetings and other things that I have going on, and I just feel like that person who's a little bit out of place at the gym. But now my youngest at home, he's 16, and he started dragging me into the gym with him because he loves going to the gym. Been a football coach for all my boys, and this youngest son, I've coached him in football as well, and um, so he's sort of like saying, "Dad, let's go talk. Let's go walk the talk." And so I'm back doing probably 3 days a week doing the lifting. And my goal now is to just sustain. The diet is dialed in. I love food. I enjoy all the good food that you can eat inside of the macros, and very, very low on my carbs. I try to stay under 100 carbs a day, and I'm
100
pretty
grams.
successful. Yep, 100 grams a day. And I try to be between 150 and 200 grams of protein per day, and I'm pretty consistently there. My snacks and treats are all protein dense, low carb snacks. I'm still drinking tons of water and doing my intermittent fasting. For me, my window is I don't eat breakfast or lunch, except for if I have a business lunch or something that I kind of have to show up for. I'll do a salad with, protein in the salad and drink a ton of water. And I just enjoy food. I don't ever feel like I'm on a diet. And I love to exercise. I feel good because I'm not carrying around, and my knees don't hurt anymore. It's improved my back pain. And even though I'm in the desk a lot these days, um, uh, working remotely, I feel much, much healthier as a remote worker. And the responsibilities that I have at work are much more manageable and sustainable, because I have the energy and I feel better and I sleep better, and I'm a nicer
So,
guy. My wife says I'm a nicer guy.
oh, that's huge. So, Star, let me ask just a couple questions here. What a great story. You're in your mid 50s, correct?
Yes.
You're not retired. You're a busy VP level professional, so you have leadership capacities professionally, and then involved in your church. And you mentioned football, so you're the busy professional dad, grandpa that we talk about, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And I'm actually looking at your tracker now. I won't share anything too personal, but do you mind if I do a quick screen share just so they can see the last like 7 months of your progress?
Yeah.
Just the because for those who are listening, we have our members track their weight and their body fat percentage. And Star, you came to us August of 2020, and week one you were 227. And what's really cool is this is the part that I'll share real fast here. What makes your story so unique, and partly why I wanted you to come on. Can you see my screen, Star?
Yes.
So let's fast forward, a good 3 years, and here we can see July of 2023, and you can see you're under 200 and you're at that 15% body fat mark. This is your tracking sheet. And many people your age would love to be sub 200, 15% body fat. But this is you like 3 years later. And then look at this, like every single metric since July, August, September, October, November, fast forwarding all the way till April of this year, here you are, sub 200, to your point, right around that 15, 16%. To me, that is what makes your story so unique, is a guy who's actually, everyone wants to reach their goal weight, but the maintaining of it is what is so hard for people. And then you talk about the knees and the back feeling better, the blood work is better. One question I have for you, Star, let me stop sharing. I just want the audience to see that. Maybe even a closing question for you, because you've done a great job outlining why you joined, what it's done for you. What's different about you? Like, what's your secret for just being in autopilot mode? We can tell this isn't the center of your life. You don't live in the kitchen, you don't live in the gym, you're not doing anything ridiculous. It's just kind of on autopilot. Like, how'd you do it?
Well, that's a great question.
Or any advice to podcast listeners as we kind of close out
Yeah.
this portion of the interview? A word of
Well,
hope for them.
I'll just say it. I guess I'll just say this. I'm a believer. I need to be healthy for my kids and my grandkids. And as a youngster, I was just a very active, a pretty athletic kid. I always kind of prided myself in being physically fit, and sort of the desire to do well led me to want to do well, like probably most of us, we just want to do well. We're kind of wired to try we're kind of driven, and so the very thing that made me successful in my youth made me unhealthy in my adult years. I just pushed myself so hard, and I lost my health, and I'm going to share a piece that I don't normally share, but I actually got a warning without a single symptom. A doctor took my blood pressure. I was 280 over 180 when I was warned. And he said, you could be having a heart attack right now. And he said, not only can I not, this was actually my dentist. He said, not only can I not do this procedure on you, but I need to drive you to the ER. You shouldn't be driving. You need to get to the ER right now. And that's what started me trying to find my own solutions. For a few years there, I was kind of just fighting for it. But this is the first time after, when I say a few years, that was the better part of 10 years that I was playing around with solutions. I think I can safely say I've about tried the gambit of different options that are out there. And what's different here for me is that um, I I can trust my body and I can trust the science. And if I follow the blocking and tackling of the six pack dad tribe method, um, which is the combination of water, of tracking the macros, low on the carbs, high on the proteins, and intermittent fasting. I mean, if I were just going to say sort of the simple formula, there's a lot sort of baked into kind of how you implement, but it's very simple, way simpler than meat, and way more affordable, I will say. It's not cheap, but way more affordable than things I had tried, because it works and then it's sustainable. And I don't need to go and pull anything off the shelf that's special. I just have to make good choices. And I love that. I love that I can love food, and I have my cheat days, and I can still love food and be smart about it. And I don't crave foods that I used to crave. But I still like pretty much everything I used to like. I just don't crave it the same way. So I'll have it on a special occasion or a cheat day, and that's all I want. And I'll have just like one cookie instead of 12. um, and yeah, it's sustainable, Tyson, and it has worked. Um, and I've grown to really appreciate also the other dads and professionals, and the coaches, and just kind of the wisdom that's shared, and the community is very, very beneficial, because of even when I go for stretches of time where I'm really busy and I'm not doing a lot of commenting. I'm still listening to and receiving benefit from what others are experiencing is very helpful. Um, yeah, so I swear by it.
Star, congratulations. You guys are listening to the Six Pack Dad Tribe podcast episode. If anything here has resonated and you'd like to have an exploratory call with me or the team, see if we're a good fit and if we could serve you, head over to the sixpackdadtribe.com, book a call with us, and we're excited to chat with you.